And you just wanted to tell me that you think my experience is too fun for the job that you brought me here to apply for? I was shook. We gotta rewind this. This is not the closing statement. Above all else, oh my gosh, so much. You gotta stick to this. I'm gonna talk from back here. Okay. Here's the skinny, the 411 on why you are not getting that job. I understand it is very frustrating and very difficult when you are maybe applying for jobs and not getting them. Honestly, I found that every time I applied to 10 jobs, I got about 1 interview, so 10% ratio isn't bad if you wanted to compare it to your own experience. I think for my first job, I must have sent out like 80 to 90 applications. Like, it was constant. But give yourself a break right now, okay? You gotta give yourself a break of that Kit Kat bar. And you have got to give yourself the benefit of the doubt and know that the problem might actually not be you. Now, in all of my job experiences, I really discovered a lot about the hiring process. I know people who work in HR, so I've talked to them as well. And I think I formulated a pretty good understanding of what goes into hiring someone. Now, on top of knowing all the things that I did or did not do wrong with a job interview, I did find one surefire way that I think anyone could use to really give them a good chance of getting their dream job that I will share later. But before that, let's talk about things that you are doing wrong in job interviews. 1, there may be an issue with the interest of the job that you might not even see yourself. For example, I flew all the way to Indianapolis, which is a whole story that I've also done on YouTube. I will link it down below. But I interviewed at this place, and while I interviewed there, I was talking to the guy that would be hiring me for this position. And I think it was more of like an event marketing type role. And I told the guy about my experience. I answered all of his questions, and I was like,
wow, I am really getting this interview.
And then he said,
"Do you think your experience is too fun for this job?"
And I just wanted to reply with, you paid for my ticket to fly out to Indianapolis. I spent 2 days, an overnight stay in a liberal arts college's hotel, I don't even know what to call it, and you just wanted to tell me that you think my experience is too fun for the job that you brought me here to apply for? I was shook. After that, I pretty much knew that I was done. There was somebody in there who was from the local area that worked with the product they sold a lot more closely. So I was just like, you know what, this is not for me. I don't want to be here. I want to go home. Needless to say, I have not been back to Indianapolis. But I think that person did see something that I wasn't seeing in myself, and that I did not want to work with this product they were selling. It is very much not up my alley. Super something I never even have really touched before. But I was so consumed with this idea that I needed a job in, a corporate environment that I went ahead and did it, and sure enough, I did not get it. But I think I really learned something about interest and having an interest in a job, and that I know it's hard because, jobs aren't so readily available, and sometimes you have to get a job just to keep yourself well financially. But if you have the opportunity to seek out something that, is more of a dream job type situation, or something that you really want to be doing, then don't be afraid to not settle. Pick something you're interested in. Pick something, it's like that goals video I made where I said, if you're going to start a business, pick something that's already in your wheelhouse, that you're already doing because the interest is there organically. Do that for a corporate job. Don't feel like you have to go sell something you don't even know, unless you want to try something new, I guess. If you did not get a job, this person might just know, because they're the expert at this position, obviously they're hiring for it, that your interests aren't going to line up with it and that you are probably not going to like it yourself. So know that they have your best interest in mind. You are not the problem. And you'll notice with all of these tips that all of them tie down to that. You are not the problem if you don't get a job. Sometimes you might be, if you did a terrible interview and you showed up late and you didn't follow up and you didn't, talk to them about your skills in a way that made you seem great, you'll see that it's out of your control on whether or not you got that job you applied for. In talking about that, skills, hardcore skills might be the reason why you don't get a certain job over somebody else. But, at that time period that you are interviewing for the job, that is also out of your control, because you can't very well learn skills that take years to learn within a couple weeks that you have before interviewing for a job. Now, I will say that for my first job that I got in corporate after college, it was a job that was focused on analytics. And they said,
oh, we're going to be, working a lot with Excel.
And when I was in college, we did not really touch on Excel a lot. I mean, we did basic things, I want to say, but we just did not touch on it. And seeing how much I use it now, being like 6 or 7 years into doing marketing, I cannot believe that school did not teach that. So to combat this and bring it back to the analytics job I mentioned, what I did was I spent my whole time on the train going to Chicago for those interviews, looking up different tutorials for Excel, how to use it for marketing, and really try to learn some skills that might help me in this interview and might help me in this job. So now is the time to learn it. I mean, I had a couple hours to kill on the train. Why not? Sure enough, I kid you not. Business is so literal. I studied this Excel for this analytics job that they told me about. And sure enough, in the interview, they said,
what's your favorite Excel function?
I honestly forget what I said, but it was just mind-boggling to me that if I didn't do that practice before coming to the interview, I would have failed that question. And that honestly was probably one of the most important questions, because I used Excel for that job every single day. Don't be afraid if it's like a quick skill, if they like mention something pre-interview and they're like, yeah, we want somebody that does this, that, and the other thing, and maybe you have this, that, but you don't have that other thing. If you can research that other thing before the interview, you gotta do it if you want the job. If you gotta watch it, you gotta watch it if you want the job, and it lines up with things like interest and things that you want to be doing. Another reason why you might not get a job is because the budget or something other than that might not be there. I interviewed for this place in Chicago. It was after my first job, and it was for a research company, marketing research. And so I had this analytics experience. I had internship experience, obviously, before that. So I was feeling really good. I met with the team. They had me do this presentation. It went well. And I was feeling so good about the job. And I was like, wow, this is so up my alley in terms of skills, and it's perfect. The HR person called me a week or so after I interviewed with an update, and I was like,
Oh my gosh, this is my moment. I'm gonna get the job offer.
and sure enough, she goes,
hey, Ryan, how's it going?
and she was clearly looking down at a piece of paper of like notes that the interviewers took while I was interviewing, and she was reading it and she was just like, oh yeah, like clearly trying to decipher what she needs to say to me in real time. She goes,
oh, well, it looks like the interview went really well. I don't know why the team decided to pass on you.
I said, okay, what do you want me to do about that? She goes, I'm gonna go back to the team and see what's up, what the haps is. So she emails me a day or two later and says that I did not get the job, unfortunately. So it was really frustrating for me because I literally got evidence from HR that I did amazing in the interview. And the team still passed on me. And I was talking with my mom about it, and I was so confused. I was like, why would they not take me if it's there? And then I got into more corporate stuff myself and realized that with corporate, if somebody needs a member on their team, it is very chaotic. It is like, hey, I need a member. Like everyone's like, I need someone on my team. But a lot of times, the budget is just simply not there, or the bandwidth of HR is simply not there, and maybe someone quit and they got to hire someone for HR first too. There's just so many factors that go into a corporation, into finding candidates that, if one piece isn't working properly, it's gonna seem weird. There's gonna be a missing component somewhere. There might not be budget for you to be hired all of a sudden because they lost a client. Who knows? Business is super literal in that way. So do not take it to heart if you do not get a position, even if you thought that you did amazing. McDonald's coffee with some nice coconut milk. Make sure you like the people that you're interviewing with. You get to make the decision too on whether or not you take this job. So really be thinking about, hey, can I work with these people? Hey, can I see these people for longer than I see my closest friends? Hey, can I see these people longer than I see my own baby? Then you have to think about those things because you will be spending a lot of time with these people. So make sure you enjoy the experience interviewing as much as you make it an enjoyable experience for the person that is interviewing you. If you go after something that you're really passionate and interested about, and that might mean turning down something that you are not, even if you got the offer, then you will find better fulfillment out of your job. You will find more fulfillment out of life. So what you might have been waiting to hear is my guaranteed almost way of landing your dream job. And that is, 1, follow all of those steps that I just listed off, because you got to keep those all in mind. But if you really want a job, like I'm talking, you think this is a dream job for you, it is perfect, and you interviewed with them, you loved the people, you need to send the team donuts. And I'm not talking, Dunkin' Donuts. I'm saying find the fanciest donut place and spend like $40 to $60. You probably have the name of the HR person that is bringing you in for these interviews, right? So give the address of the business to the donut shop, pay for it ahead of time online, and then you let them know you want it delivered on this date, and then have it be literally the next day after your interview. I used this tactic when I really wanted this job. It was for this new company, it was a new product, it was in a field of marketing I really wanted to try out, and I sent donuts the next day. I kid you not, 2 hours after I sent the donuts, I got a call and got offered the job. The job had a pay raise included in it, so if anything, treat it as an investment into your bigger future salary. I think this is just a great way to kick things off with a team. Like I said, personality fit I think is huge, so I think it puts you into a good spot with them right away, which I think is really nice. At that office, a couple months after I started working there, the HR person was like, oh, is this Ryan Redoute, the donut guy? And so, I had a little bit of a reputation there because I think all the teams were really close, and they saw that the team I was about to join got all these free donuts from someone that interviewed with them, because I really wasn't someone who wanted to send thank you letters, and sending a thank you email is really nice, and I think everyone should do that to follow up. But ultimately, if you really want it, you gotta really show that you want it. Again, literal. Think of business as literal as you can. You gotta show that you can do a job, and you gotta show that you can help them make money. And then on top of that, you gotta show that you can get along with the people. And then even more on top of that, you gotta prove that you want it. Go after it. Buy them those donuts. Overall, I think these are a great summation about everything that I have learned about the job interview process and HR and what it takes to get a job. And other than that, stick around and watch more videos on my channel. I try to do anything from things that I think will help you in life to skincare to just trying to be funny or singing on the ukulele. Honestly, my interests vary a lot, and I like sharing that with everyone. So go out there, get that job that you want, or I will say, we gotta rewind this. This is not the closing statement. If you find, like me, that every job you do teaches you a set of skills, but doesn't ultimately give you the most fulfillment that you want, I would say make your own job, become an entrepreneur, start your own business, do anything you can to get to a place where you feel really good about the work you're doing. And honestly, sometimes it's not going to be perfect, but I think entrepreneurship is a great route to take if you're finding that things like corporate jobs just don't fit with your mojo and the environment is not good for you. Make your own environment, make your own job. We live in a world where there's so many possibilities, especially online, so make it happen. And above all else, oh my gosh, so much. You gotta stick to this. Have a wonderful day.